Hi, this is Doug Hyman with Jayobi.com, and I have an unboxing here of a Logitech DiNovo Edge keyboard, which I'm very excited about. In fact, I had two packages that I received today. One was this right here, which is a separate unboxing. That is my new MacBook Pro 15-inch, and I got this keyboard to go with this. So let's start by taking it out of the mailing box. And pulling out here, at the very bottom, is the DiNovo Edge. Let me move some of this out of the way. And we have it in a protective sleeve here. And this is actually the DiNovo Edge Mac edition, so it's a special edition of this keyboard for the Macintosh. But there's also one that is available for the PC. In fact, actually the PC one came out first. This one actually came out second. But let's pull in a little bit closer and let's see what we've got inside this box. All right, here we have the box, and I actually have this flipped upside down because there's some tape here. So let's take this all off. And then I'll flip it back around to open up the box itself. And I should probably do it this way. In fact, there's the keyboard. Perfect. And once again, this is actually the Mac edition of this. And pulling this out, in fact, we'll maybe take a look at this in one moment. Let's see if there's anything else inside. Yeah, they've got several different things here. It appears that we have, well, this is once again the Logitech Designed to Move You. And I'm guessing that's probably, there may be, yeah, there's a disc in there. I'm guessing it's probably drivers or something of that nature. This is the charger adapter. So this will be paired with the charging station. And the charging station itself is right here. And once again, all of this really is just very, very slick looking. In fact, it's got a protective cover on here. Let me take this off. And this is almost like a piano black. I mean, it is just so shiny and so black. And I can't seem to get this adhesive off. But once again, this is just very, very slick looking with the Logitech logo there. The keyboard will actually rest in there, and that's how this is the charging unit for it. And I guess that's the little adapter for the plug that will go into it. In fact, it would look something like, if you have this sitting down, and you've got the keyboard here, and this actually has a protective cover on it as well. Let me peel this off so we get it in all of its shiny glory. It doesn't seem to want to come off right now. Oh, here we go. And once again, I mean, this is just absolutely beautiful. It's a very, very shiny black. It's got an aluminum wrist rest. The back of it is totally black. I don't know if you've ever seen it. The PC version actually has an orange background. This one is a matte black. And I'm guessing these are little feet that pop out, which they are. And that one doesn't want to come out. There we go. Little cushion feet there. So if you're setting this down, if you have the rest up, it's got an elevated view, but it's a very, very thin keyboard, as you can tell. This is very, very Mac-like. In fact, this really, I mean, in terms of design, I think Logitech just batted one out of the park, because it truly is almost Mac-like in design. You've got your keyboard here, you've got your function keys, and on the Mac edition here, these are actually specifically to the Macintosh itself. So you've got, this is for your monitor to make it less, to dim it or to brighten it. This F3 key is for expose. This is your system preferences, I believe. This is to enact your iMail. I'm not sure what that one is. This is for your iTunes. This is for iPhoto. And you go on through it. I mean, it's truly, you just bang, you hit. I mean, if you hit that button, iTunes pops up. And then over here, you do have a heat-sensitive volume control, and this right here, and the reason why I bought this was because, really because of this right here. This is a little trackpad plus a right and left click mouse, and of course you can also tap. And another neat thing is when you're, if you're working, and of course this is a Bluetooth keyboard. So it doesn't, and with a Mac, I think you can you can connect up to 7 Bluetooth devices at one time. So it is not going to take out any of the ports. So it's because there's only 2 USB ports on the on my MacBook Pro 15, so it won't interfere with that. But this little button over here, really neat little button, this little arrow. If you are surfing, or if you are clicking through, holding this, and you're using this, the mouse, you can actually click and hold over here. So you don't even have to like hold down the left click, to move. You can use this other hand to hold that down. So like I said, some really neat things, and it's got all the other Apple functions on here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to be hooking this up to my Mac and showing you what it is. And really, once I get this home, because right now I'm at the office, but once I get this home, I'm going to show you the power of this and why I got this particular keyboard. Okay, now I'm home, and I brought my Logitech DiNovo Edge keyboard home to be paired with my Apple MacBook Pro 15-inch, and as you can tell, the two of them look really hot together. The aluminum, the black and the aluminum here just are an absolutely awesome pair together. But once again, why this keyboard was so important to me to be paired with this, because really it's not just to use this keyboard instead of this keyboard here, it's really for a specific function, which I'm going to show you right now. Okay, the first thing to do is to turn on the keyboard, which the little switch is right here, and when you turn this on, you'll see the lights light up, which is really cool. It'll be pairing right now with the MacBook Pro, and this is actually a Bluetooth connection. So once again, there's on the side here, I'm not using up any of my USB ports with little plugins. It's actually just going all by Bluetooth. Anytime that you touch the little trackpad here, it lights up. You've got your volume control, which goes up and down. Really, really neat stuff. But like I said, why this is so important is because, okay, there is my couch, and if you look behind it, I've got 2 speakers flanking it. There's my Logitech DiNovo Edge, and as we come around and you look over here, that's where I've got my my television, and and my stereo and so on is right beside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect my MacBook Pro to my stereo receiver so that I have surround sound, and of course, then not just having a 15-inch, but I will then be transporting it up onto my 50-inch television, and once again, and I will be sitting there, and I will be computing. Okay, now both the computer, if you look off to the right, and the 50-inch big screen television are totally connected, as you can see, and I also have the audio hooked in. I basically took what was the headphones jack out and put it into my stereo, which is right below my computer, and now it's time to do some computing on the couch. So I sit here in the comfort of my couch. I set this here. I've got a nice little wrist rest here. I can type. I've got my full access to my mouse right here with my left and right clicking buttons. I also have another left clicking button here. I can turn up and down. In fact, if you can hear on the speakers, I am controlling the volume here. I've got all of my controls for example, like iTunes. In fact, one really neat thing that you can do in a setup like this is not only surf the web, while sitting at the couch and looking across at the television, working on papers or whatever it is that you do, but also this is like a really neat remote control. And if you're having friends over for a party and you want to put on some iTunes, you can even put on the visualizer on your big screen television, so it looks pretty cool. Check it out. So using this as, this little stand here as a remote, in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull up iTunes real quick just to show you an example. And let me open that. I'm just going to grab a song. In fact, this is actually one that I made, whoops. This is one that I made on GarageBand. Just a little goofy thing that I was playing around with. So play that, got control. You can have that going as your background for a party. But really, this keyboard is absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love it. The keyboard action on it is fantastic. I mean, really, everything about this is so nice. And because it was specifically made for the Mac, you've got all of your control buttons. And likewise, if you get the PC version, it has special control versions for the Windows Media Player. But really, really neat device. So I highly recommend this to anybody. Hope you enjoyed.